This is breaking news.
A-listers bring their A-games to the Santa Barbara International Film Festival's Virtuosos Awards festivities. The red carpet-ready crew included Ariana Grande, Clarence Maclin, Fernanda Torres, John Magaro, Mikey Madison, Monica Barbaro, Sebastian Stan, and Selena Gomez. Unconcerned about the competing Super Bowl, crowds of fans began gathering outside the Arlington Theater in the afternoon for the talented and buzzworthy crop of performers honored at the 2025 SBIFF Virtuosos Awards on Sunday night. It's no wonder the selfie-seekers were out in force. This year's honorees, interviewed by the affable Dave Karger for the 15th consecutive year. He's also the host of Turner Classic Movies, included Ariana Grande, Wicked, Clarence Maclin, Sing Sing, Fernanda Torres, I'm Still Here, John Magaro, September 5, Mikey Madison, Anora, Monica Barbaro, A Complete Unknown, Sebastian Stan, The Apprentice, and Selena Gomez, Emilia Pérez. Interviewed individually first in alphabetical order by first name, which conveniently bookended the household names of Ariana Grande and Selena Gomez. The energetic actors each had a short clip from their breakout roles, followed by a sit-down with Karger. Grande shared that she had long had her eye on Wicked's Glinda character originated on Broadway by Kristen Chenoweth. Playing Glinda was the dream of my life, and I was so deeply grateful to do that work, and that was more than enough. To be recognized in this way is something you don't even think about, so I'm deeply grateful. She also teased a bit about part 2 of the movie, coming later in the year. It's very special, very emotional. I think the second movie really embodies unconditional love and forgiveness and friendship, and you'll have to wait and see, but it's quite different. You'll see people bear the repercussions of their choices. Maclin, once a real-life prisoner in Sing Sing, spoke eloquently about returning to that time for the film. As you could imagine, on the onset, it was a lot of apprehension about going back to a place I clawed myself out of. Then to walk back into a prison and put on the uniform that so readily identified you as an outcast. The message is that people in prison are just that. They're just people, and they have the ability to change. That message was more important than the apprehension I suffered to get that message out. SBIFF honors his co-star in Sing Sing, Colman Domingo, on Friday, February 14, with the Montecito Award, and it will be presented by one of Montecito's most beloved and famous residents, Oprah Winfrey. Torres, who stars in the Brazilian film I'm Still Here, Academy Award nominated for both Best Picture and Best International Feature, as well as a Best Actress nod for Torres, had a particularly special experience on set, as her mother Fernanda Montenegro, a legendary figure in Brazilian cinema, made a memorable cameo in the film as an older version of Torres' character. In addition, in 1999, Montenegro was nominated for Best Actress at the Oscars for her unforgettable performance in Central Station, an earlier film by the same director, Walter Salles. September 5 star Magaro said of the movie, which follows a crew of American sports broadcasters during the 1972 Munich Olympics, who find themselves thrust into covering the hostage crisis involving Israeli athletes, that he was attracted in part by the idea of going back into history. The idea that film can transport us back in time and show us a moment in history that changed everything is really intriguing to me. Of her Anora experience, Madison talked about how transformative it was to work with director Sean Baker, who wrote the role for her after seeing her at the Scream movies. She also does some memorable screaming in Anora. There was no script, we had a coffee, and it was the first time a director gave a role without auditioning me, she said, seeming still a bit astounded by her good fortune. The experience of making the film was so special and so very transformative because of what it was like to make that movie. As a person, as an actor, I grew, she said. Barbaro, who played Joan Baez in A Complete Unknown, talked about the challenge of both acting and singing in a way that was reflective of Baez without being an impersonation. At the time, Baez's performance style was quite still, explained Barbaro. People would talk about her seeming deeply troubled and affected by the songs she was singing. Stan, who was completely unrecognizable in his role as Donald Trump in The Apprentice, talked about his extensive prep work for playing such a recognizable public figure.